even if we use the same grape variety and the grapes are growing in the same environment, the growers can decide to pick the grapes at different times, and the resulting wine styles are very different. Look at these two glasses. The color is very different. I bet you the smell and taste are different too. So today we're looking at two wines. This is a wine called Tokaj, which is a region in Hungary. And this is also from the region Tokaj in Hungary. This wine is made from the grape variety Furmint, and this wine is made from the same grape variety Furmint. So why do they look different? Well, let's discuss them with our tasting notes. So this wine looks pale lemon in color, and this one looks deep gold in color. And let's smell this one. The aroma intensity is medium. More importantly, the aromas are more of those kind of fresh apple, those kind of fresh red and golden apple, peach, apricot, those kind of stone fruit characteristics. And this wine also has some vanilla and yeasty yogurt smell into it, but mainly it's about those kind of apple fruit, stone fruit like peach and apricot. Maybe also a bit of pear. Well, if we compare to this one, the aroma intensity is very pronounced, and the aromas is completely different. This wine has lots of dried apple notes, dried apricot, dried peach, honey, all those kind of almost sweet sensation of aromas. It's fascinating. It's much more concentrated in the aroma intensity, and they just smell sweet, almost like those kind of honeyed fruit cake, those kind of smell. And let's taste them. Let's taste this one first, the lighter colored one. It is a dry wine, and I salivate a lot, so the acidity is very high. Alcohol is medium. Body is interesting. With this kind of acid, I would expect a light body, but actually the body is medium because this one has lots of flavor concentration in the mouth. So when we smell it, it's kind of medium intensity, but when it tasted, it's actually medium plus flavor intensity. Medium body, medium plus flavor intensity, and filled with this kind of apple, pear, peach, apricot, those kind of fruity characteristics. And the flavors are still staying in the mouth. The finish and the length of this wine is actually very long. I cannot wait to taste this one. Well, when you taste these kind of wine, I hope you can have the same reaction like I did. This wine, this Tokaj, is sweet. It's not dry wine. We're tasting a sweet wine over here. The acidity is very high. Okay, when you taste wine carefully, you cannot taste this wine as very sour, but you are having a lot of mouth water in the mouth. I'm still salivating and I'm gonna drool. So it has super high acid to balance with the sweetness. Alcohol is medium. Body is full. We're having a sweet wine over here, so it has concentration of flavors and sugar and everything, pretty full bodied. but it doesn't taste cloying or oily. It tastes kind of even refreshing at the aftertaste. And the flavor intensity, of course, is very pronounced, filled with honey, dried fruit, raisin, dried apricot, dried apple, dried peach, all those kind of nice, sweet, fruity flavors, raisiny flavors, honeyed flavors. And on the finish, I can still taste those kind of different types of dried fruit and honey finish flavors on the mouth. Wow, I cannot even talk properly because they have so many flavors stay in the mouth, and I'm still salivating. The acid is very high, so it's super sweet, but with a refreshing finish. So we didn't talk much about why these two wines are so different. We just say they are both from the region Tokaj in Hungary, and they are both made predominantly from the grape variety Furmint. But the reason they taste so different is because this wine, the lighter, paler colored wine, the growers pick the grape when it's ripe. So when we see the grape, they start to ripen. About the time it's sort of, hey, the human beings and birds and other animals look at the grape and thinking, it's time to eat. We pick the grapes. However, the growers for the second wine, this Tokai, they pick the grape very late. They wait and bearing the risks of other animals like birds and all those kind of wild animals is gonna eat the grapes. But they still wait until the grapes for this second wine started to shrivel, become raisiny like, semi-raisin, and also they are affected by mold. Sounds nasty, but actually it's a good type of mold. It really attacks the grapes and shrink the grapes, let the grapes lose water, become raisins, and concentrate all the sugar flavors and everything in the grapes and in the wines. Therefore, the second wine is sweet because you are using raisins to make these wines. So the sugar content is very high. The yeast cannot convert all the sugar into alcohol. So we have this kind of deeper color, sweet rather than dry, and lots of raisin, dried fruit, honey, these kind of sweet aromas and flavors on the palate. Just because the grower decided to pick the grapes in the vineyard in different times and in different conditions, we have completely different types of wines. A dry Tokai and a sweet Tokai. And the sweet Tokai, people call those kind of grapes, those kind of raisin, molded grapes, noble rot. Okay, it got affected by the rot that is kind of noble to make the wine taste better. And also in Hungary, in Tokaj region, they call those kind of noble rot grapes Azu. So the first wine is a dry Tokai, but the second wine is called the Tokaj Azu. Cheers.